Hi, this is Fat Girls Rule, and I wanted to tell you an experience I had in the van. Um, I was in the van, I was staying in a Walmart, and it was good, like, during that day, it was pretty rowdy there. Um, it was, like, there was, like, probably college students in big trucks, and they're really revving their engines, and it's so annoying. And like to listen to that on and off for 2 hours is kind of a pain in the butt. And when you're in your van, and but I'm just like it's kids. It was a Sunday. They're probably college students and they're bored, so I get it. And but I didn't like it. But anyways, I could have moved. It's no big deal, but I didn't. I just put up with it. And so this was like a really scary time at like I've never in 2 years had anything like really scare me. So I it was getting dark, but Walmart was still open. And they decided they just want to like start driving around like playing cat and dog in the parking lot at Walmart. Mine is still open. There's people walking still to their cars, and I didn't know what to do because Walmart is a private property. So not even like really cops can do something unless it's illegal. Like they crashed in a car or something like that. Then they could step in. But just complaining about them racing in the driveway, they may not do nothing. I don't know. That would be from Walmart to deal with, right? And I didn't want to complain to Walmart because I thought, oh, well, maybe they'll say, well, you don't need to stay the night in a parking lot anyway, so maybe just move on. I thought they would be like real dicks. So I didn't say anything. Well, then all of a sudden they're playing cat. I'm out at the end of the parking lot, out of the way. So I'm out there all by myself, just sitting. No cars on either side of me, nothing. I mean, it's free space. And they start driving around me like super fast, like very close to my van. And then, I mean, it was so close, I'm looking, they can't see me, but I'm looking in their vehicles. They were so close to me. And I'm like, what the fuck? And so, and then I heard one of them say, someone is in there. And I pulled I have like this cover over my windows, and I pulled it down and I yelled at them. I said, get the fuck away from my van, and flipped them off. And so they just kept it going. They're probably drunk, college students. So they kept doing it. And then they took off. And then after a few minutes, I thought, you know what? This is just, I'm not a Karen. This is just really unsafe for them to be doing this in a Walmart parking lot when there's still people coming out, getting in their vehicles, And so, I want to tell you this because I want to tell you other options, the things we could do as van dwellers. But this was a very scary time for me because I'm looking in the vehicles. I can look right in them, and I'm seeing, the car had at least 4 grown men in it. And the other thing was like a Suburban. So it had at least 4 people, if not more. So here I'm dealing with being a solo female traveler, dealing with 8 grown ass men. So I gotta be legit. I pulled my pew out of my van drawer, and I have it in a bag and with more ammo and stuff in there. And I just stuck it on, I'll put it on my dresser. I'll put it on my dresser. My granddaughter's watching, just so you know. She's probably going to make comment and correct me, and then I'm going to hurt her later. But, so, because I don't know what could happen. I really don't. And we have to protect ourselves. And I was, at that point, kind of feeling in danger, my life in danger. So, after the first time, I called the police. I let them know, please, can you come here, see if you could catch them doing this. And then they came, I know the black car came back and then they were doing it again. And so I thought, and then they left. Like they'll go around like 4 times and then leave. I'm like, what? I mean, super, super close. If they were way around my van, I would not care. I don't want anybody hitting my van at all. I want my van. I want to live in my van the rest of my life. And I take care of it like it is my house. And I'd be in my van now, but there's like zero sunshine. You wouldn't be able to see me. I had to come back in my house that my son and his wife and my 2 bratty grandchildren live in. And so and then that car came again, and I called the police again. I said, look, they just came back by again. There was an emergency, so the police cannot come at that time. I'm just letting them know, like, this is what's happening. They were racing through the parking lot, almost hitting even each other, right? So I don't know why it didn't involve Walmart. I just felt like they would be like, well, you could just go on and you won't have to deal with it. Well, at that moment, you're probably like, why didn't you just leave? Because it's like 10 minutes from my home, right? And I'm like, these mofos are crazy enough. If they saw me leave, they would chase me down. Like, that's exactly how I felt. Whether I left and got right on the highway or went through town. And, so the police finally came and they're like, I said, I'm telling you right now. I said, I thought about parking next to other cars. And I said, I was afraid that they would still do it and then possibly hit other people's cars. So I didn't want to involve any other vehicles, but I still want to stand my ground. I'm not going to let drunk people bully me. And so, and I told the cops, I said, I'm afraid to get on the highway, that they will chase me if they catch me. Because come to find out, there's a motel, like right next to the Walmart. It's like in front of the Walmart, way in front of it. And the college bought that motel and they turned it into college dorm rooms. I did not know this. And so keep that in mind. So they're probably from that dorm room. And they're all just coming to Walmart because they have nothing to do. They're poor. They're probably broke college students revving all the gas up out of their vehicles. And they did not know I was a female. I will give them that. Because if I yell, I sound like a man. I have a very deep, rough voice. And I sound like a man. I'll give you that. And I got it from my dad. My dad, when he yells, is very rough. Well, that's all I ever heard as a child. So that's exactly how I yell. So they didn't even know I'm a woman. And in the vehicle, they probably thought it was another man. And I'm very aggressive, and I flipped them off. They couldn't really see me; they could see my hand. I mean, there's dogs outside, just so you know. And now they're gonna start barking. Great. I'm gonna try. Okay, the dogs were working. We got them inside. God, where was I at? Trying to figure out how to do YouTube again is so freaking hard. Like, I need to learn to edit. I need to learn how to do all that fancy shit. And this is probably what you're going to get for a while. Is lame-ass videos from Fat Girls Rule. But, so the next, I went to bed. I was up, like, super late. It wasn't that I was scared. I was just nervous. Like, I didn't want them to do damage on my van. Like, what if they come back and flop my tires? What if they come back and try and fuck with my gas tank? Which I have it locked. The gas tank's locked. They can't do anything. But, so the next morning, I thought, you know what? They never came back the rest of the night. They probably had to go home, mom and dad or whatever, get ready for school the next day. And I'm assuming they're college students. I don't know for sure. But, I called Walmart and I got a manager and I said, I wanted to tell you something. And she's like, what? So I explained everything to her. And I'd even looked up like the time frame that that they were messing with me. Because I went by when I called 911. So like, 5-10 minutes went by. I called 911, the first time. So I went by that. So it would have been like 7:50, 7:55. And I'm telling her, I said, I just thought you guys should know. Because, like, they're, like, randomly just driving like idiots through the parking lot, slamming on their brakes, going between cars. I mean, it's, like, it wasn't not... I'm not trying to be, like, a Karen. I'm just very concerned. I'm sure they're just kind of, like, drunk kids. Who knows, And, because why else would they be doing that? Kids just aren't the same anymore, the way they used to be. And she's like, oh my God. And I'm like, what? She goes, I'm watching the footage right now. She said, wow, weren't you scared? I said, yeah, I was fucking scared. And she said, they almost hit other cars. They almost hit your car. Oh my God, that could have been children. I said, that's exactly what I'm saying. I did daycare for 30 years. I know kids. They like gone and they burst out in front of cars and totally oblivious. Even the parents can't catch them fast enough. And she said, next time you have any issues in that parking lot like this, you call us. So this is for other van people, so you know. Or anybody, really. They said, call them. There is some sort of management on the site 24/7. Because they're working at night. People are working, stocking the shelves, whatever, cleaning the store even nicer, whatever they do. And she said, there's a manager and we will take care of it. We will come straight out there. We will get license plates number. We will ban them from being in our store. And she goes, we even have a thing. We might be able to get a license plate number off of them going around your car or in the parking lot somewhere. We have a thing that like zooms in on it, I guess. I don't know. But she said she will let all the workers, like all the management, know what happened, show them the footage. So 100% Walmart is there even for van and RV people who may not even spend any money and they're just sitting there in comfort and feel like we're safe because there is cameras and there's lots of lighting. I mean, everybody could see what these idiots were doing to me. But do you want to get involved in some craziness like that? Fuck no. What I should have done is got in the front seat and started my horn as loud as possible. Like honk, 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 honk. Like go crazy and don't stop until they stop. That way it lets people know. They're like, wait a minute, where's that noise coming from? And they're going to be, oh, wait a minute. Because it's probably even better to have other people call the cops and not me so I don't look like a Karen. I mean, there is a lot, we know how the Karens are. Karens are freaking out of control. And so I just want to let you know, say Walmart's a safe place to be. And this is in a little town here in Kansas, Ottawa, Kansas. I'm not out there all the time, usually in my hometown. And, but I go lots of stuff, like lots of places. I'm not, usually I go to Quartzsite, Arizona. That's where all the van dwellers go. And that's where it's natural to be a van dweller. Like, there's no shame. I'm not ashamed that I live in my van. I love living in my van. And my grandkids love coming out and being in my van because I have food. I'm a fat girl. I got some food. I got some snacks. And they're going to come out and eat all of them. Don't you, Beans? Yep. My granddaughter's name's Thea, but we call her Beans. And then my grandson is Kai. Can you believe I'm a grandma? What the fuck? That is insane. But I do love them. They're pretty freaking awesome kids. And I'm not just saying that because you know me. I'm just like, don't be a bonehead around me. And I'm watching them right now. Their mom went to get a facial. And I asked her, I said, will that facial take that resting bitch look off your face? She didn't think it was funny. I thought it was funny. Did you think it was funny, Beans? We thought it was funny. Because she's always like, I always call it the mad cow disease when you're like, all the time. I've missed you guys so much. And I would like to do this all over. And I need to learn like to edit videos and all that shit. I don't know how to do that shit. You know me. I was always plain and simple. You got the video. There was a screw up. It stayed in the video. I'm not about perfection because I'm not perfect by any means. But to know, like, I had a really bad stroke. It's almost been 4 years. I've had double knee surgeries, like both of them in place at the same time. I've gone through some really freaking amazing things since I've had my for 14 years. I paid off all my debts, saved a huge amount of money to travel. I've traveled for 2 years. I mean, just 2 years. I want to try to get like a fully remote job. That way I could be on the mountains working and stuff like that. So that's one of my goals. Fully remote is, I don't know. I noticed that with some remote jobs, they're thinking you're at home. And I'm like, I'm not at home. I'm traveling. If I could, I have online, I got internet in my van, a hotspot or whatever you call it. But I will get, if I have a good job, I will get Starlink. That Starlink has minis. They're so cute, and it'd be very easy for me to put it together. And I'm an old woman, and I'm just like, how do you do this shit? But I'm going to have fun just trying to edit and be able to put words on the screen, but bear with me. And, I still deal with a lot of ghost stuff around me, even while I was traveling. Demon stuff. I mean, I feel like my life is like so fucking amazing. No matter how much bad shit I went through, bad shit as a child, bad shit with relationships. I had a stroke, and I conquered it all. And I was like, all crippled up. I couldn't write. I mean, it was on my right side of my hand. When I had my stroke, I couldn't even do this. Like, talk with my hands. I'd be like this. And I was like, I was bad. Like, I'm not trying to ever make fun of stroke because stroke is not funny. Part of your brain dies. And it has to make new connections. And I learned how to do that. And even like spiritually, like manifesting it coming back and my face being normal. And I worked with it too. But I would love to tell people if anybody's had a stroke or they have, I will put the information, I will put it in a video, everything I went through and how I conquered and got back to being normal. And even with my singing, I lost 100% singing. I lost 100% writing. I still had the knowledge of what A and B looks like, but could I write it? No, I could not. I was writing in preschool books, practicing. So I would love to give you guys knowledge I got. That's why I wanted to come back on. I noticed that some of these, the first time I did, I started doing Fat Girls Rule because I noticed there was nothing out there. If you're fat, you're fat. That's just how it is. And it doesn't have to be you're a glutton. It doesn't have to be that you're lazy. I never have been. That's just how my body is made. And there are men who appreciate this big sexy body. And I'm fine with this big sexy body. I'm not going to get an operation, not taking shots, not doing pills. I fast. I love to fast. I can do videos on my fasting and how I work up to a good long fast. I've done a 4-day fast. And I don't feel like I'm starving myself. Fasting is healing your body. It's having a better connection with the universe. So I just want to tell you guys everything I've learned and done for myself, and I just think it's amazing. I think life is amazing. So, and you are amazing. I love you guys. Thanks for watching my video, and I will give you more information in more videos. Bye.